Late at night in Elsinore Castle, the guards patrolled the battlements. For 2 nights, a ghostly figure had appeared. Tall, armored, pale, the image of the late King Hamlet himself.
It stood right there, in the moonlight scene by the battlements, just as I said. Armor and crown, the very face of the dead king. By heaven, Bernardo. I saw it too. His visor lifted, and it looked straight upon us. Like judgment from the grave. It's no dream. If this vision walks again, we must tell Horatio. He'll not believe it else. Then let us meet it once more, and speak to it, if it will answer. Heaven shield us till then.
The night was still and heavy. Horatio approached the guards, a quiet dread tightening his chest.
Horatio, you have come at last. We have seen something strange these nights past.
You both swear you saw him?
This cannot be true.
Surely. Same hour, same face.
They exchanged wary glances.
It's a nipping and an eager air.
Each hesitant word carried the weight of the impossible sight they'd seen.
It will speed to none but Hamlet.
Horatio led the way through the misted battlements, the guards close behind, their footsteps echoing softly on the cold stones. Beyond the walls, the castle stretched toward the heart of Elsinore, where torchlight flickered across the grand halls of the throne room, waiting to witness the intrigues of a kingdom in shadow. When the King of Denmark died, all expected his son to ascend the throne. But fate turned strangely. It was not Hamlet crowned, but Claudius, the king's brother, who took both crown and queen. Barely 2 months had passed since the funeral when the wedding bells tolled. The court smiled, but not the prince. His grief was raw, his mother's actions a wound he could not comprehend. Gertrude's heart sought stability, perhaps survival, but to Hamlet it felt like betrayal.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green.
Claudius is no fool. He moves quickly to steady the realm, addressing a rising threat from Norway's young prince, Fortinbras, who seeks revenge for lands lost by his father.
The time for deliberation is over. The hour for action is upon us.
But Hamlet sees none of this. To him, the throne is tainted, his home, a stranger's hall. And so the castle slept, its grief sealed in stone and shadow. Yet beyond its cold walls, the world still breathed, light returning, quietly, as if nothing had changed. A shadow falls across her. She looks up. Hamlet stands there, a faint, tired smile curving his lips, a small book tucked under his arm. In her presence, the prince found stillness. She reminded him that gentleness still lived somewhere within these stone walls.
Reading again?
You'll outshine the scholars of Wittenberg.
And you'll outtalk them all, my lord.
Call me not lord, Ophelia, not when we are alone.
If my father knew I lingered here.
He'd send you indoors, and I'd find no rest till night flies, just to write to you again. When the court sleeps, read it, and know I think of you.
I think of you.
And she, too young for caution, mistook his sorrow for sincerity, and his grief for depth.
Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love.
But love cannot bloom in poisoned soil. Even as Hamlet dreamed of her kindness, the new King Claudius moved swiftly to steady the realm, addressing threats from Fortinbras of Norway, sealing alliances, commanding loyalty. To everyone else, it was a throne. To him, it was a grave for truth, and his mother's laughter, an echo that hollowed his heart. Only Ophelia's letters, kept secret and sacred, reminded him he was still capable of love. And as the sun sank behind Elsinore's towers, 2 hearts, one heavy with guilt, one trembling with hope, beat quietly beneath the same cursed sky. In the house of Polonius, there was little room for dreams. Even love was weighed, measured, and warned against.
Sister, heed me well. Hamlet may speak fair, but he is bound by birth and by the crown. His heart is not his own to give. Guard yours. When greatness calls him to duty, what will that leave you, sister?
You think him false?
I think him lost. I don't know what we're gonna do.
We'll figure it out together, brother.
What isn't, Ophelia, he hath said to you? Lost indeed if you feed this folly. Return his letters, girl. Believe not a prince's promise, Gertrude. They are words spont in play, not pledge.
So duty severed what love had barely begun.
Young lords, like tinder, flame and fade, do not mistake courtesy for love. You shall not see him again. Do you understand?
The ink that once bound two hearts now burned beneath obedience.
Yes, father.
But the heart remembers what the mind forbids. In the quiet halls of Elsinore, caution walks louder than love.
If love is sin, then I have sinned already.
Yet every warning, every guarded word falls upon her heart like frost on a blooming rose. On a night when even the stars refused to shine, something restless stirred upon the walls of Elsinore. The dead were not at peace.
Marcellus, Bernardo, you are certain of what you saw?
We swore it by the dawn. The late King Hamlet says, seen twice now, before the cocks crow.
His face, it was grief and warning.
It spoke to no man but you, my lord. If it returns, hear it, but be wary.
Father? Is it thou?
Mark me, my son. The serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. Claudius, thy uncle. While I slept within mine orchard, he poured poison in mine ear, thus robbed me of life, crown, and queen. But your mother, she is not part of this treachery. Judge her gently. Leave her soul to heaven.
Oh, my prophetic soul! Mine uncle!
And from that night, the prince's heart turned to ice. Love curdled into doubt, faith into suspicion. He swore remembrance, but the cost of remembrance was madness itself. Thus began the haunting of Elsinore, where one ghost spoke the truth, and many more were yet to come. To some she was faithless, to herself merely human, and to Hamlet she was the heart he could neither forgive nor stop loving.
I thought I did what must be done. Yet why does his silence wound more than his words ever could?
To some she was faithless, to herself merely human, and to Hamlet she was the heart he could neither forgive nor stop loving. In Gertrude, Hamlet saw love and selfishness intertwined.
My son, your eyes, they frighten me. What haunts you so?
Mother, my father gone, and yet you, beside him. How could you consent?
Hamlet, I mourned him as you do. My choices are not betrayals, but survival. I am still your mother.
A woman caught between grief and duty, neither wholly heartless nor entirely pure. The ghost had spoken, and the prince had listened. Now Hamlet knew the truth, but truth without proof is a curse too heavy to bear. He could not strike his uncle's crown with words alone, so he forged himself a weapon no one would see coming: madness.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To wear a smile where grief should dwell, to jest where vengeance burns.
A madman's mask shall serve me well, till guilt unmasks the king.
From that day, the court saw not a prince, but a riddle. He spoke in riddles, laughed at shadows, and wandered the halls as if reason had fled his soul.
Feasts for ghosts, crowns for kings, laughter for graves. Is truth a jest now?
Or must fools wear crowns while the wise play dead?
Shadows dance where silence sleeps.
My son, what ailment clouds his mind?
Madness, perchance. Or guilt that has no cause.
Claudius feared a threat he could not name. But Polonius, ever certain, never right, thought he'd found the answer.
It is love. Unreturned affection. That's what troubles him. My daughter's virtue has shaken his reason. Return them and regard him not.
Father, I meant him no harm. His letters, his words.
Enough! The prince's heart is but a fevered fancy. We shall tell the king and queen and watch how he behaves when she stands before him.
And so began the cruel play within the play. A prince pretending madness to reveal a murderer, and a girl forced to wound the only man she ever loved. What began as a son's vow for justice now twisted into a storm, where truth, love, and reason would all be lost to the same dark tide. Madness spreads faster than truth in Elsinore. Polonius, ever eager to prove his wit, makes a bold suggestion: to test Hamlet's heart in plain sight.
My liege, let the prince speak with my daughter once more, alone. We shall hide behind the arras and see his heart revealed. You'd turn love into bait? For the safety of your crown, my lord. If his madness be born of love, we shall soon know it.
If this be mercy, then heaven has forgotten me.
To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
Behind tapestries and torches, the king and his counselor prepared their trap, to watch a broken heart as though it were a play. The trap was set. But even as they spied upon his heart, the king himself began to doubt the tale of love and lunacy.
This sorrow runs too deep. There is something more in his soul than love denied. My lord, I warrant. Send for his old companions, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Perhaps friendship may find what our suspicion cannot.
So the net closed tighter. Friends turned to spies, and every smile hid a question. The prince was never more watched, nor more alone. As Elsinore grew colder with whispers and suspicion, two faces from Hamlet's past arrived, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Old friends once, now quiet messengers of the crown. But their arrival brought more than conversation. It brought a chance.
You were dear to our son once. Speak with him. Cheer him. Find what weighs his mind.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, welcome to this gloomy Denmark. My good friends, are you sent for? Or come of your own accord? My lord, we came to visit you. To visit or to watch? Nay, don't blush. I know the king hath sent for you.
Just then, a troop of traveling players arrived at the gates, their laughter and bright costumes cutting through the gloom of Elsinore.
You are welcome, masters. The city has grown dull without your voices.
In their arrival, Hamlet saw a spark, a way to turn theater into truth.
At your service, my lord. What tale would you have us tell?
A tale of murder, of poison poured into a sleeping ear, where murder wakes the sleeping soul. We'll call it the mousetrap.
Show them how poison finds the ear and truth, the heart.
Is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
That night, beneath golden torches and false laughter, the stage was set. Actors bowed, nobles gathered, and one man's secret would face its reflection.
Truth bleeds through the crown, and the lie still wears gold.
If the king flinched, Hamlet would know. If he didn't, the ghost was a lie. Either way, truth would finally wear a face. Though Hamlet's madness was meant to be an act, the weight of grief began to crack his heart. His father murdered, his mother remarried, and now, love itself had turned to confusion. What began as pretense was becoming pain.
My lord, I have longed to return these to you, Pain. Your letters, your gifts.
I never gave you aught.
My lord, you know I did receive them prayed, and with words of sweet breath most dear.
You should not have believed me. I loved you once. Yea, but I loved you not. Words are wind, Ophelia. What's written can be forged by hope.
To love was to risk corruption. To trust was to die.
Why would you say that?
You make of me a poet I never was.
I was the more deceived.
Go thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? What is man but a thing of dust and deceit? My mother, my uncle, all lies. Get thee to a nunnery, Ophelia, where prayers are pure and hearts do not bleed as mine does.
His heart begged him to hold her, but his mind, poisoned by betrayal, struck first.
Love? No. There's something deeper, something dark in his soul.
It is still my belief. His madness springs from love denied.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown, the courtier's eye, the soldier's tongue, the glass of fashion all gone. And I hoyne of ladies most deject and wretched. I was the more deceived. Oh, why has he left me here to weep? Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown.
But it was not love that drove Hamlet mad. It was truth. And truth, once seen, can never be unseen. That day, two hearts broke. One in silence, the other in fury. And in Elsinore, love itself began to drown. As the evening descends upon Elsinore, laughter and wine flow freely through the great hall. But beneath the velvet and gold, secrets stir. Hamlet has set his trap, a play within a play, mirroring the very murder that haunts his nights.
My lord, he sleeps, and now the poison works its will.
Hamlet watches every heartbeat, every breath, searching for truth in the king's eyes. And there it is, the tremor of guilt, the flinch of conscience. Claudius rises abruptly.
Give me some light. Away.
His voice cracking. And in that fleeting, broken moment, Hamlet knows his doubts vanish. His heart hardens, but vengeance, once awakened, never sleeps again.
I spoke to ghosts, the night grew cold. Love was the light, my heart was sold.
Gertrude, confused and heartbroken by Hamlet's strange behavior, summons her son to her chambers, desperate to confront him.
Forgive me my sin, my brother's murder.
Hamlet freezes. This could be the perfect moment. A single stroke, and justice would be done.
Now might I do it, now he is praying.
He hesitates. If Claudius dies praying, his soul may find peace. His father, murdered in his sleep, was never given that chance.
And so, am I revenged? No, not now. When he is drunk or asleep in sin.
When Hamlet arrives, his mother begins to rebuke him, but he cuts her off. The sorrow in his heart ignites into fury.
Thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Words spill like blades. He accuses her of betrayal, of dishonor, of marrying the very man who murdered his father.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me! Help! Help!
Help! Help! Help!
A cry and silence. Polonius collapses, dead. No remorse, no turning back.
Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell.
He drags the body away, a prince lost between justice and madness. After the blood in his mother's chambers, Elsinore feels tighter, colder. Claudius smiles in public, but his hands are already moving in secret. He sends Hamlet to England. For his own good, he says. But the truth drips in the ink of that royal letter.
Upon his arrival, put him to sudden death.
My nephew's safety, yes, in your hands, good King of England.
The message is simple. The moment Hamlet's ship reaches England, he is to be executed, and his school friends, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, carry the order, unaware that they're escorting their friend to his death. He feels it, though. The unease. A prince doesn't need words to know when the world is plotting against him. Back in Denmark, another storm arrives. Laertes, Polonius's son, returns from France demanding answers. His father lies dead, his sister broken.
Where is my father's murderer? Where is justice? Peace, Laertes. I share your grief.
But Claudius is not a man who shares. He uses grief like a craftsman uses wood, shaping it to his will. And then comes Ophelia. Her mind, delicate as lace, has torn apart under the weight of everything she's lost.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. And there is pansies, that's for thoughts.
She wanders the halls, offering flowers that no one can see. Her songs twist between love and loss, between nursery rhyme and farewell. She speaks to no one, and yet to everyone. To her father, to Hamlet, to God, to the silence that has replaced all of them.
Where the willow grows aslant a brook, and will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed, he never will come again.
Madness has taken her, but not cruelly. It wraps her in a strange peace, a world where her pain no longer needs to make sense. To those who watch, she seems broken, but perhaps she's only escaped a reality too cruel for her heart. Her madness becomes the final spark Claudius needs.
Oh, heat dry up my brains. Poor Ophelia.
He leans close to Laertes, planting the seed of revenge. Grief finds its purpose. Revenge finds its instrument.
It was Hamlet who brought ruin to your house, your father slain, your sister lost. You are a man of action, Laertes. Let us act.
And Claudius smiles. The kind of smile a man wears when the next death is already chosen.
Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night.
Let them come in.
A messenger arrives, breathless, shaken. Hamlet's ship was attacked by pirates, but somehow, miraculously, the prince survived. He's on his way back to Denmark. This was not part of Claudius's plan. And so the king pivots. Quickly, cunningly. He knows Hamlet won't rest until he strikes. So Claudius decides to strike first. He summons Laertes and whispers of a friendly duel. But this duel will be no game.
Friendly duel, they will call it. But this duel will be no game.
The blade meant for Hamlet will be tipped with poison. And even if the sword fails, a cup of poisoned wine will wait for him, disguised as a reward for victory.
If Hamlet give the first or second hit, the drink shall be for him, and in the cup a pearl shall be put, a poison rather, fit for kings.
One woe doth tread upon another's heel. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Ophelia is dead. They say she was weaving garlands of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. Whether she slipped by accident or chose to sink from sorrow, no one knows.
Thou art sick.
The branch she stood upon gave way.
There's rosemary, that's for...
At first, her gown spread wide like the wings of a swan, the silk catching the water, keeping her afloat. The river cradled her gently, as if it meant no harm. Bubbles rose like fading prayers, breaking the silence above. The water grew still, the flowers stopped drifting, and the world forgot to breathe.
Good night.
For Laertes, this is the final wound. His father, murdered. His sister, lost to madness and water. And Hamlet, at the center of it all. The time for grief is over. Now only revenge remains. And so, the stage is set. The prince returns to meet his fate. Hamlet has returned to Denmark, but not to celebration, nor to peace. He and his friend Horatio find themselves in a graveyard, where two gravediggers argue whether Ophelia should be buried with Christian rites. After all, if her death was suicide, is it truly a holy burial?
From dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to seat. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
Yorick, once the jester who made the young prince laugh. Now, nothing but bone and dust. Hamlet's voice softens as memories
Alas,
flood him.
Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy.
Childhood laughter, innocence, the echo of joy long gone. The prince stares into the hollow eyes of death and finally understands. No matter who we are, king, fool, or child, we all end here. The grave makes equals of us all. But as the earth opens, Hamlet freezes. The body being buried is Ophelia's, the woman he once loved and lost to madness and water.
What? The fair Ophelia. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum.
Show your face here after what you have done.
The two struggle. Mourners scream. Priests intervene.
The devil take thy soul.
The brawl is stopped, but the damage is done. Love and rage now share the same grave. Claudius watches from afar, cold and calculating. Later, Hamlet tells Horatio what happened during his voyage.
To merely survive feels like a victory.
Before the pirate attack, he discovered the letter Claudius sent to the English king, a letter ordering Hamlet's death upon arrival. But Hamlet outwitted him. He forged a new letter, in Claudius's own handwriting, ordering that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern be executed instead.
They are not near my conscience. This dangerous when the baser nature comes between the pass and fell incensed points of mighty opposites.
The game is almost over now, but in Denmark, every act of justice seems to demand another death. Laertes has sent his challenge. Hamlet accepts. No one knows the poison that waits in the cup, or on the blade. They salute their blades, honor as pretense, hatred as motive. They strike. Honor bleeds into violence. Each pass is a memory, each parry a ghost.
Madam, do not drink.
Leave me to my rest. Oh, my dear Hamlet, I am poisoned.
The poison takes hold.
Bleeds through the crown, and the lie still wears gold.
Laertes' blade has the king's intent behind it. poison on its tip.
Truth bleeds through the crown, and the light still wears gold.
A scuff. Weapons cross. Blades become entangled. In the confusion, their swords are swapped.
Here's metal. Take it. Poisoned? God, I'm slain by my own blood and by my friend.
It was the king, and we planned it. I was the hand, the instrument.
Fate is a small, cruel hand. The rigged plan collapses into its own teeth.
You will answer for this.
Hamlet.
No.
Incestuous, murderous, damned Dane.
Bleeds through the crown, and the lie still wears gold.
Hamlet, forgive me. We were both instruments. We forgive and forget nothing die, but we make amends.
They trade their last breaths like coin.
Oh, Hamlet. Speak to me.
Tell my story. Let not poor Denmark's name be the jest of nations. Bear me to the stage, Bernard, to place me where honor fits.
Fortinbras, if he comes, let him be king.
For he has a right, a strength. Let him have Denmark's crown.
The rest is silence.
Great Lord Pess, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. The English king found them executed aboard their ship. This sight will feed the tale. Set the prince with honor.
Let his body be born in state. Set him like a soldier of Elders, a prince who fell for his land.
An army arrives to claim a ruined throne. A foreign hand lays a crown where blood has fallen. Denmark, emptied by its own inward rot, passes into other hands.
I shall tell the tale as it must be told. How fortunes turned, how love and duty burned.
Though the sun may set, the journey still remains.
And how a prince of Denmark met the world he would not forgive.
Where shadows fall and silence calls, he walks alone.
And so Denmark sleeps, its secrets buried in blood.